Hi everyone, I'm Sugandha and you're watching Ready with HR and I hope so. Yes, you all are well and you all are waiting for this module 3 because today we are going to start module 3 session 1. This is training and development in HRM. And yes, again this will be interesting session. Let's have a quick recap of module 1 and module 2. If you want to skip this recap, you can skip to 2 to 3 minutes, but I can't skip this recap, okay? Because yes, you need to know what all we have done till now so that you can check those sessions from the pinned comment, right? So let's get started with this recap. In module 1, we have done two sessions, session 1 and session 2. That was introduction to HRM. What is HRM means human resource and management, and what are the purposes of HRM. Then in module 1, session 2, we have discussed about the basic elements of HRM. What are the basic elements of HRM? Starting from recruitment and selection to strategic HR. We have discussed a brief about these basic elements, and from there only these basic elements form separate modules. And in module 2, we have discussed first basic element, that is recruitment and selection. Okay, and in recruitment and selection we have discussed everything in detail, whole recruitment process. That includes from identification of job vacancy to what to extending job offer and up to onboarding. Yes, means recruitment and selection we have discussed in detail. There we have discussed everything about interviewing, the negotiation, job offer, onboarding. Please check those sessions. You can check what you can do. You can check the thumbnail of the session. If you feel that yes, you must check it, you must watch it, then please click on that session. Okay, so now we are going to start with training and development, and this will be an interesting session. Why? Because yes, training and development is important. It is a crucial step. It is a crucial part of any organization, and it should be an important part of training and development. Here, yes, I want to give one disclaimer. A lot of people say that trainings should be given only to the people who are less qualified, or they are unskilled, semi skilled, but this is a myth. You must provide training to every employee, irrespective of the level of management. Like even if they are senior level people, mid level, lower level, you must provide some kind of training as per your organization. Okay, so that they get gel up with the organization, they know how to work in the organization. Because yes, every organization has a different setup, and that setup needs to be known to the new hire. Okay, so this is why we are implementing this training and development. Now let's move on to this. Make sure to subscribe this channel if you're watching me for the very first time, and do hit that cute notification bell icon so that you could get my updates later on as well. And yes, I have done what I have done two workshops. First is HR workshop, that is 15 days HR workshop, and next was recruiter workshop, that was for 10 days. Okay, so you can check these workshops from the pinned comment. Please check these workshops, they are really helpful. If you want to know about recruitment in 10 days briefly, then you can know the broader points, and then you can come over here for the detailed ones. And yes, if you want to know about human resource HR, then yes, you can check those. Now today, because we have started a separate module, module 3, that's why I am giving so much introduction and so much briefing. From the next session, yes, we will be just looking for the recap, a small recap, and then we will be moving to the content part. Fine. So yes, let's get started with this training and development. Training and development in HRM refers to a systematic process. As I said that yes, everything is a process, and we need to do that process in a proper system. So this is a proper systematic process of enhancing employees' knowledge, skills, abilities, and competencies to improve their performance. We all know, yes, we are improving their performance, thereby productivity and overall effectiveness within an organization. We all know that if an employee is semi-skilled, or even if that employee is skilled but not aware of a few things related to the organization, the task related to the organization, technology related to the work, which is prevalent in our organization, then yes, there will be less productivity and less effectiveness. So this process is essential for both individual growth. I always talk about individual growth of employee. If you're considering only your organization growth, then yes, that will be really difficult without individual growth and the achievement of organizational goals. We must take both the things together. So here's an overview of training and development in HRM. Let's deep dive what is training, what is development in detail, because this is an intro session of training and development. After this, we are going to discuss things in detail regarding training and development. So, what is training? If I have to give a proper definition, what I can say, training is a short term process. Yes, why I'm talking about short term process, I would be discussing within few minutes. That focuses on equipping employees with specific skills or knowledge needed to perform their current job tasks effectively. Now, a lot of people who are doing graduation or post graduation are approaching me for these kind of answers. So yes, you can note down these answers if you have to give somewhere. You can definitely say them verbally, or if you have to write in certain project, you can use these. Training is a short term process that focuses on, this is the simplest definition of training, focuses on equipping employees with the specific skills or knowledge needed to perform their current job task effectively. Here we are just talking about current job task. Okay, in development we would be talking about the future more. Okay, that's why I said short term process. Training could be in parts. We are giving you 15 days training for first month, then after 3 months we are giving you another 15 days training. That will be a short term process. Now, what are the objectives? We can understand that yes, we are addressing skill gaps or deficiencies in employees' current roles, because what we are talking about, we are talking about current job tasks effectively to enhance job related knowledge and competencies and to improve job performance and productivity. This is important. Next, what are the methods we can adopt to provide trainings? We are going to discuss these methods in detail. Okay, so training can take various forms, including yes, on job training. Now, don't think that on the job training is not that great. We are just taking work from the employee. Yes, we are taking and we are paying for that, but we are taking work in the form of giving and taking that particular training that will be helpful for the employee in the later part in ongoing job. Next is classroom training, e-learning, workshops, seminars, and yes, mentoring. Mentoring can never be stopped. I don't think that mentoring ever stop in the organization. Yes, a few people don't like to get mentored by their seniors. They always say, "Oh, I've grown up," or "I know why that manager is hindering." Same way, I always say that yes, manager needs to know that when you are mentoring someone, you must know your limits. You must know that yes, now that employee knows everything, whatever point you need to give or whatever areas you feel need to be improved, you must give instructions or you must give advice and suggestions according. Fine. Next is development. Now, what is development? Here we are just talking about a definition. So, development is a long-term and broader process that aims to prepare employees for future, yes, for future career opportunities and challenges within an organization. That's why we always say training and development. Okay, we always use this word training and development because in development we are focusing on the future. So, what are the objectives? Yes, a simple objective is to foster personal and professional growth. Both the things we are considering. Maybe in training we are considering, okay, if I will train this employee, he will perform my this task. My this task is over, whether whether his growth is there or not. But still, we must focus on individual growth. So this is personal and professional growth to prepare employees for higher level roles and responsibilities. Again, succession planning to build leadership skills and competencies. Important again. Next is what are the methods we can use. So, developmental activities may include what? Job rotations. This is an excellent example of development, because if 5 people are working in my department and I have given them, since years, same kind of work, then yes, I'm really sorry, they won't be able to grow. Personally, individually, they won't be able to grow. Yes, your department will be growing because yes, they have got expertise in their work since they are doing same kind of work from years. But we must rotate them. Mentoring programs, leadership development programs, executive coaching, higher education, and self-directed learning. What is self-directed learning? We can provide such kind of training to them that is self-directed. Okay, we are going to discuss about all these methods in detail in future sessions. Now let's discuss about the key elements of training and development in HRM as we discussed in recruitment and selection. Fine. So first is needs assessment. This is very important. Why this is important? Because this is the start of the process. HRM typically begins with the process by conducting a needs assessment to identify specific training and development needs within an organization. If you haven't analyzed what kind of training and development I need to provide to the candidates, how you would be able to train them? You are giving blindly training. You are giving blind training to the candidates. Whoever come, you impose that candidate into soft skill training, even if they are having excellent communication skills or excellent soft skills. Sorry, not communication skills, because we are talking about soft skills. Soft skills are not communication skills. Communication skills become part of soft skill training. Okay, so entirely when we talk about soft skill training, so what I'm doing is I have a candidate, I have a new hire who is already well trained, soft skill trained, and what I have done, I have I have hired that employee and dumped him into 15 days, 20 days, or 1 month soft skill training. That will be of no use. Yes, I understand. A little training is required, or minimum training is required, or you need to tell that candidate that okay, we are having such kind of training, but that will be of shorter duration for him or her. Okay, that can't be for 30 days if he's already trained. In that time, he can perform another task. So we need to do needs assessment. This is the importance of needs assessment. This may involve performance appraisals, skills assessments, and yes, feedback from managers and employees. You need to analyze this. Now, again, this needs assessment will be a separate session. Yes, the next session will be on needs assessment only. There we will analyze that how to actually assess these needs, what all methods we use to assess these needs. Fine. You might be thinking I'm saying I would be doing. Yes, because here today I'm introducing about the training and development. In the next session, we are going to discuss everything in detail. Okay. Next means from the next sessions, different sessions will be there where we are going to discuss all this in detail. Next is design and planning. So once needs are identified, HR professionals or anyone involved in this will design and plan training and development programs, including what? Now we have to set the objectives, choosing appropriate training methods, and creating curriculum or development plans. Fine, this design and planning is important. Once we have identified the need, then yes, we have to design and plan accordingly. Okay. Next is delivery. Now, training and development programs are delivered through various methods, including yes, classroom instruction, online courses, workshops, seminars, coaching, mentoring. Okay, we are going to discuss this all these methods in detail in future sessions. Right. Here we must know that yes, training and development is not only about training an employee on job. We can provide it through various methods. This could be even third party training. Okay. Next is evaluation. HRM assesses the effectiveness. This is important. Effectiveness of training and development programs through evaluation methods, which could be pre and post training assessments, and that could be feedback from participants and post program performance evaluations. That's why needs assessment is important. We have analyzed the need, what kind of needs are there, and then we have designed and planned. So this is pre-training assessment, and after implementing this training, we are doing post-training assessment. So this helps ensure that the programs are achieving their intended outcomes. It's not a fashion kind of a thing that yes, we are implementing, or we are giving training programs, and we have introduced development programs in our organization, as all do, as every organization does. We are also doing this is not a fashion or trend kind of a thing. You need to understand that there should be positive outcomes. These programs must achieve intended outcomes, and if it's not happening, what we have to do now, this is my favorite: continuous improvement. HRM often emphasizes a continuous improvement approach. I always say that you need to improve at every level. If you think that this is not working, you need to change things. It should not be that okay, we have stopped, we are not giving training. Yes, you can stop the training, and then you can design, you can plan, you can think, you can research what needs to be implemented. Okay, so yes, refining training and development programs based on feedback and changing organizational needs. This is important. Everything needs improvement. Everything is out of date. Within 6 months or within 2 months, nowadays mobile goes out of fashion. Now, not about only fashion or trend. Yes, we get to know different kind of technology in every new model. Okay, this includes, okay, new model includes this thing. Okay, new model includes this thing. Maybe it's not beneficial for us who is using the phone for 3 or 4 or 5 years. But yes, for a lot of people, this is helpful, as because as as technology changes, our demands changes. As technology change, our demand change, and yes, we get a new model. Okay, so this is important. Let's move on to this. Now, this was key elements of training and development. Now let's move on to benefits of training and development in HR. We all know that yes, we have lots and lots of benefits of training and development. Let's quickly understand why this is important. Obviously, improved employee performance. Training equips employees with the skills needed to perform their current jobs roles more effectively. Yes, if the employee is trained, now he has learned few skills, more skills, whatever is required for the organization. Obviously, he would be working more effectively, and this will improve the performance. Next is employee engagement. Development opportunities demonstrate an organization's commitment to employee growth, increasing job satisfaction and engagement. Now, see, if an employee is getting monetary benefits, if an employee is getting non-monetary benefits, and if yes, employee is getting training and development opportunities, career development opportunities, that is improving his professional, personal performance, then yes, he will feel satisfied. Now, what he needs, everything is getting fulfilled. So, what he needs, yes, he will feel engaged, he will feel satisfied. Oh, it's my place, I have to work over here, this is my work. This kind of attitude will be there. Next is talent retention. Yes, if the employee is engaged, they will retain in the organization. We all know that employees are more likely to stay with an organization that invests in their development and offers opportunities for career advancement, because there is a thing in their mind that okay, I am getting career development opportunities over here. Who will train me in the next organization? If I leave this organization after a certain point, who will train me for the next possibilities, next changes, next technological advancements? I'm getting everything over here. Let's be here only. Okay. Next is adaptation to change. Now, what is this? Adaptation to change. Training and development help employees acquire the skills needed to adapt to changing job requirements and industry trends. Again, see, he's getting everything. Whatever is changing in the market, I'm introducing in the company. Not immediately, but yes, after certain months. So, yes, my employee feels satisfied. Next is leadership development. Development programs prepare future leaders, ensuring a pipeline of capable managers and executives. This is again important. Leadership opportunities. What's happening? My one employee who is an assistant over here now is getting promoted to managerial profile. Why? Because I have given him leadership training. Yes, succession planning. I'm planning for his future. So why that employee will go? Next is enhanced organizational performance. A well-trained and developed workforce contributes to overall organizational success by improving productivity, efficiency, and innovation. So this is enhanced organizational performance. We are improving our employee, and yes, because employee is working on the even on the machines, we are using technologies, then yes, latest technologies, then yes, organizational performance will improve. Fine. So this was all about training and development. And if I have to summarize, I can say training and development in HRM is very important, critical, vital process that enhance employee skills, knowledge and competencies. Now see, this was our motive, systematically improving the skills, competencies, knowledge, and this is fulfilled after this program. So, benefiting both individuals and the organization as a whole. These processes enable employee to perform their current roles effectively while also preparing them for future career growth and challenges within the organization. Okay. So yes, this is important session. In the next session, we are going to discuss what? We are going to discuss about the needs assessment. I hope so this was clear. We would be starting with the key elements of training and development as we started from the module 2. Like each key elements we are discussing from recruitment and selection to strategic HR. And in the recruitment and selection, we discussed each recruitment process. Here also we are going to do this. We are going to discuss key elements of training and development, and that will start from needs assessment. How we have to analyze what are the needs of the training. This we have to do in the next session. So I hope so this was helpful. If it's helpful, please do let me know in the comment section. Till next video, all the very best. Stay happy, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.